We've always had room in our hearts for film and TV, not just on Netflix, but tape and disc and theaters. Also, God forbid that they take it all away and leave us nothing to broadcast to loyal listeners. We'll binge watch every single movie, so you don't have to. What else are we here for? Coming to you every week. Listen to us while you're busy. Luckily, we forgot to grow up. Hey everybody, it's Craig.
Hey, it's Scott.
Hey, it's Andrew.
Welcome to episode number 36 of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. The podcast where we talk about stuff, things.
Mainly words.
Mostly we say words. Sometimes there are sounds. There's singing sometimes.
And sometimes they're made up
we
words.
never rule that out.
Most of the time.
Scott uses words that he thought were real. And it turns out we learn stuff sometimes on this episode.
That's true.
On this
if
podcast.
we decide to Google it.
On this episode.
We might learn something on this episode. On this episode, we learn that I don't know the difference between episode and podcast.
There we go.
Coming up on this week's episode, we are going to talk about what we watched this week, same as we always do. That's no surprise to those of you who are faithful Forgot to Grow Up listeners, and we thank you for coming back every
Thanks,
week
Mom.
listening to our asinine conversation. But for
Especially
those of you
the
who
ass
aren't,
part.
that's a thing. We call it WWWTW, and it's summer, so the lists are getting shorter. But
Whoa,
especially
War of the Worlds.
Especially on this week of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast, we're going to talk about Jurassic Park. I'm not going to be specific about which one.
Try and piece it together.
Yeah, you get to pick which Jurassic Park we're talking about. It's not The Land Before Time either.
Damn it.
And we're talking Jurassic Park.
Yeah, we should have done that instead.
We should have done Land Before Time. Why are we doing Land Before Time? Because Jurassic World's coming out. And Jurassic World, The Fallen Kingdom...
It's going to make us cry, too.
Well, probably.
But in a different way.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt makes me cry tears of joy every time he acts on a screen.
Bryce Dallas Howard confuses me.
I don't even know who that is. So that
I'm guessing that's the chick.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm probably going to Google it later. But the reason we're talking Jurassic Park and all things related to dinosaurs coming to life from mosquito blood is because Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out in 9 days, 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 20 seconds from this exact point in recording. I don't know where, but it comes out somewhere.
I'm guessing North America.
That makes a whole lot of sense since that's my time zone.
And I think it's already out a few places around the world because they're trying to get ahead of the World Cup because that starts places and somebody cares about that.
Those soccer-loving nations can watch the movie now.
Yep.
Do it.
That's all we're going to talk about the World Cup.
I think Craig drafted that one, didn't you, Craig?
Jurassic World?
Yeah, or was that me?
Probably.
Or it was probably Scott.
Since you brought up the draft, I'm a little bit disappointed that Ocean's 8 is probably going to pass Solo.
Yep, it looks slightly that's possible.
That hurts me everywhere.
It depends on how well it keeps up. But it's possible. It's very possible.
I drafted Jurassic World as well. So everyone spend your billions of dollars and go out and see it.
Man, who'd have guessed that over the course of 3 weeks, most of Craig's draft would be out in theaters at the same time?
He's competing with himself the whole time.
I have a chance to come out in second just because my movies are spaced out. I mean, I won't because let's be real, Ready Player One happened.
Ready Player One was a thing.
That movie, owes money. That's how bad it is.
2 of my movies, in your guys' defense, literally make up the rest of the box office for the entire year.
My top 4 films, Solo, Deadpool, Jurassic World, and Ocean's 8, all came out like 1 week after the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 week right after another.
Yep. The only other one I have is... Oh, man, I picked some bad movies.
Dude, have you looked at my list?
I like how we revisit this so often now because they're all coming out.
Yeah.
And the rest of my list is Tomb Raider, Rampage, and Mamma Mia.
So all of yours except for Mamma Mia are out. Okay, we need to soon.
Jurassic World are his last chances.
What movies did I draft, Craig? Because I totally forget. After Ready Player One, I was like, I'm gonna lose.
Ready Player One, I have Fantastic Beasts,
Okay.
Ant-Man, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Venom, Sicario 2 and Pacific Rim 2. You picked a lot of sequels.
I did.
Sequels are a safe bet when it comes
sequels.
to like box office. That's usually they make up the top 10 each year. It's usually half sequels, so
All of those collectively will do better than Ready Player One.
definitely.
Yes.
Ant-Man alone, I think Ant-Man's going to be your top one out of those. If maybe did you say Aquaman as well?
No, you have Aquaman.
I have Aquaman. Okay.
You have Aquaman.
Yeah, Scott's got Avengers, Black Panther, Incredibles 2, A Wrinkle in Time, Aquaman, New Mutants, and X-Men something or other. I don't think it had a title back
I don't
then.
think either of his.
But both of my X-Men ones are gone. Those got moved to next year.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I don't think either.
And Wrinkle in Time was a flop. So you guys, I literally have $4 billion in the bank.
To everyone out there, everyone in the world, tell 7 people, okay, that you need to go see Fantastic Beasts twice. Just do it for me, guys. Just do it for me. Give me a chance, okay?
Fantastic Beasts has to make $2 billion. It actually has. Like I have $2 billion movies, and Avengers is still in theaters.
I just gotta hope.
You guys gotta get one in the billions. You gotta get something in the billions, guys.
Just so everyone's aware, we're never doing this draft again.
And if we do, we're gonna have a better system.
We are definitely fixing the damn rules.
Yeah, we could.
We're gonna do a 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3 system.
We decided that way too nonchalantly, and it did not work out well.
Considering we did not even talk about it, we just decided and said, "Let's go."
Yeah. So.
I feel like I also did a little more research. Like,
yeah.
I just did not think Black Panther was going to do as well as it did.
I was really hoping to be the Houston Astros, and it did not pan out that way.
I am the Cubs. I had one good year in my life, and everything else has just been meh.
So Jurassic Park.
Player One is the worst. Anyway, Jurassic Park. Or Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, the movie that you all are going to go see.
The video game that you guys are going to play Lego style.
Yeah, I'd actually do that. I like the Lego video games. They're pretty awesome. They're a little childish, but I like them anyways.
Bum 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 bum.
Should I start then?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't know if Craig was done or not.
The year of our birth, 1993. Oh, I've been done my intro forever. I'm just
so many good movies come out in 93.
93.
It was just a good year in the world.
93.
93.
93.
Yeah.
Who wants to start at the beginning of the
Jurassic Park? I can start. One thing I wanted to say was that I was never the biggest Jurassic Park fan.
Kill yourself.
Blasphemy.
I like Jurassic Park, don't get me wrong, but I was always more into like Batman, obviously, and Star Wars, and not as into dinosaurs. Like I like dinosaurs, but they were never like it doesn't make my top 10, or it didn't, I should say. But then when I rewatched them over the weekend,
we were not together when we did this.
Yes, no,
listeners, in case you were curious.
And not all of us watched them over the weekend.
We'll let you figure out who that is.
That'll be a little
game
for you guys. Yeah, you guys can try and figure that one out.
For those of you scoring at home,
yeah.
Who's on IMDb right now, and who actually watched the movies?
Wow.
Yeah,
I'd be on IMDb anyway.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, I ruined the game for everyone.
Yeah, well, no, I ruined it too because I started off by saying I watched them over the weekend.
So that's a 2 for
one of the 3, and then Craig took himself out. So yeah. Anyways, but rewatching them this weekend, I kind of grew more of appreciation for them, and I kind of get why they are such popular, like kind of modern classics, especially the first one in particular. The other 2, and Jurassic World's meh, but the other 2 are still okay, but the first one I can see why it's like was such a phenomenon, and why like it's built into this now about to be the 5th movie, right?
See, I gotta say, I'm kind of on the opposite end of you on this one. Surprisingly, I love dinosaurs, and I like the dinosaur aspects of them, and I've spent my whole life loving the dinosaurs. Rexy, that's my boy right there, son.
So
I love these movies. I love these movies for the dinosaur aspects. The dialogue is freaking garbage. there are so many stupid wannabe jokes thrown into these movies. And like
I love wannabe jokes.
Last night I watched the first Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic Park. I watched it while I was doing a puzzle because I'm a grown up.
Yes.
And
that's exactly
I'm watching
how I watched mine.
And some of the jokes that they threw out, I was like, oh man, why is this in a Steven Spielberg movie? Like
there's your first reason why.
Every Spielberg movie I've watched in the last year, I've just become more and more disappointed in him. Like I'm afraid to ever watch Jaws again.
Go back to Indiana Jones and life will be so much better again.
I'm afraid to ever watch Jaws again because those are some of my favorite movies too. And like I don't want to be watching a part where you have the lawyer in Jurassic Park on the beginning of their tour sitting in a thing being like, "Oh my god, are those what do you say? Oh, are those autoerotica?" And then he gets corrected. "No, they're not animatronic." And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That guy knows what animatronic is. He's a lawyer, okay?
That doesn't... No, I disagree with that statement. I think you're being needlessly picky.
No, it was... Oh, I did not like it. I didn't laugh. I didn't find it funny.
Two of you. I'm in between the two of you. Because I agree it's not very funny. I know lots of very intelligent
people who would not
remember the name of animatronic is. Yeah. Especially...
I know what it means.
25 years. Especially... Well, what I was going to say is 25 years ago, though... it wouldn't have been as common, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Jurassic Park was one of the first movies... Jurassic Park is
the reason why the word animatronic is a thing right now.
I don't know.
That was completely sarcastic.
Why did he have to use autoerotica, though?
Yeah,
why was autoerotica the go-to?
I didn't get that joke.
Man, it was 93.
I agree, that joke in particular was just weird. Like, especially, like if you're going to do, like, the word mix-up joke...
It's got to be something closer.
Exactly. That's why
autoerotica, animatronic.
Well, like I didn't get that was supposed to be a joke, to be honest. Like that just went over my. Like I remember exactly what you're talking about. I just thought that was weird. But now that you say that was probably supposed to be a joke, I'm like, yeah, that was a bad joke. Okay, I agree with that one.
Terrible joke. Even if it wasn't supposed to be a joke, just terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible nonetheless. You don't ever really need to mention autoerotica in any family film really at all.
No.
I don't even know.
No, I can't think of any reason to in any family film.
No. In any movie, really.
Yeah, really. Well, I don't want to speak to anything, you know.
Scott wants the
Oscar movies.
Yeah. Scott wants the smut pictures to be mentioned as autoerotica.
No, I'm just defending people's right to watch movies that say it. That's all. I'm not saying I want it.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's for our listeners.
People have the right to watch bad movies. That's their right.
Exactly.
It's a God-given right.
Exactly. That's all I was saying. But I think it's kind of interesting because like the reason I didn't like I've always kind of considered myself less of a fan of it is because I always thought of this movie as solely it's just a dinosaur movie. But then when I rewatched it over the weekend, it's a little more interesting because they do add a little bit of like the moral implications of cloning dinosaurs, and like you see like the fact that pretty much none of the scientists he brings in the first movie agree with the fact that they made dinosaurs. Like they're all happy to like kind of see dinosaurs, but they're also like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done this. Which
I like that they do that when they're eating lunch or dinner or supper, whatever the hell it was they were eating, and then you see Ian Malcolm and you see. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Alan. Where you see them and you see fucking Laura Dern. She just makes me laugh. Anyways, you see them just sitting there and they're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done this. Like, sure it's sweet, but get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
they're dinosaurs. They're dead for a reason. And then the lawyer's the only one who agrees with.
Yeah, because he sees the cha-ching in it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really interesting dynamic that I never picked up on as like a kid as much. Like I never really thought about the reason why. Like the main thing I liked is that the scientists had a reason to be there, like Alan and the girl and Jeff Goldblum's character. Yeah, I don't remember any of their names.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either. I know it's Laura Dern though.
It's Alan.
I know like Jeff Goldblum's character. I'm just like, that's Jeff Goldblum, right?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Ian Malcolm, Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm, right. I thought that might have been it, but I wasn't confident enough in it to write that down, to be honest.
The Fly.
But yeah, like I just like that they all had like, they were all there because like they were invited to be there, and he was hoping they would come and be like, oh, this is great. But they were all like, no, this is not great. And then
like, why did you make the ones that kill people?
Yeah, exactly.
In what world is that a good idea?
That doesn't make any sense, but...
A tiger gets loose from the zoo, that's fine. We can shoot it, put it down. A Tyrannosaurus gets loose? Like, do you have tanks lying around?
As we see in the second one, it's not so easy to deal with.
Out?
Yeah. Who supported this idea? That's my question. Like, he's got the board of directors and all his investors. Who was like, oh, you want to make giant-ass dinosaurs and send people onto an island and see them? Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that.
Well, I kind of get, like, the appeal of, like, oh, bringing back these, like, you know, these extinct creatures. But I agree, bringing back the ones that want to eat things, not maybe not the best idea. Like, other living things, I should say, because everything has to eat something. But the ones that eat plants, not a problem. Like,
even if they ripped their teeth out or genetically modified their teeth to have human teeth, like something that wasn't like,
that's still terrifying.
Genetically modify them to have like. I'm sure there was something like
Tyrannosaurus Rex with a mouthful of human teeth would be terrifying.
Could you imagine?
Well, actually, I think we've seen that in what's it called?
Like,
We're Back. I'm pretty sure they animated it with that.
Yeah, it's true. But that movie's amazing. Don't shit on We're Back.
I wasn't going to shit on it.
Turn back the clock.
I was defending dinosaurs having human teeth with We're Back.
John Goodman's the man.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but.
Still the best. Like,
He's
even
a
though I
good
like
man.
these movies, even though I like these Jurassic Park movies now, I still prefer We're Back. It's still the best dinosaur movie ever.
Ever.
Period.
Does that include Land Before Time?
Land Before Time second. It's just there's a lot of them, and then they went into the straight to DVD territory with Land Before Time eventually, and I feel that always brings the franchise down just a little bit. Whereas like We're Back,
the first
one and
five.
done.
The first 5 were good. 6, 7, 8 were meh, and then after that, kind of.
Yep. As soon as once you get to once anything's at 8, you're just like, do we still need to be doing this? We need to reevaluate why we're doing this.
Do we need another Fast and Furious movie? Or
Yes.
No, they're making me furious how fast they come out. Okay.
I say that completely jokingly because I never saw one past the second.
Good. Jurassic Park. Back to that before I go off on a rant. Yeah. Like. Another thing that gets me is that out of all the dinosaurs they had there, okay, you got your Tyrannosaurus, and they bred raptors because that seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, no.
And then they even had the the Ophthalmosaurus or whatever it is, the one that spits the acid and ends up killing Stan Podolak.
Yeah, that one's again. These ones don't seem like good reasons to have any of these ones.
No, why would you have the one that spits acid at people? Even if it didn't get loose, you have the thing that spits acid at people.
You have to protect against something that now spits acid.
All of these things going on, they have one guy. One guy who will hunt these things.
Well, he's supposed to have some staff, but they keep getting eaten by raptors.
or they send them off the island. Like, why don't they have bunkers on the island to be like, hey, go hide in the bunker. You get desertion pay or some shit. Like, stay here, go sit in the bunkers in case shit happens.
Or why don't you have it so that like it's a separate island where the humans are, and then you just take the dinosaurs and like you have the dinosaurs on the island itself, but you don't stay there, so that all you have to do is get off the like you visit the island, but you don't hang out there. Like, you don't do all your work there. You don't put the hotel next to where you're storing like 30, 40, 100 ton. I don't know how big dinosaurs, much they weigh, but Tyrannosaurus Rexes are huge.
Multi-tons.
Yeah, multi-ton. Thank you. I should have gone with that first.
No, it's the whole premise. Like, I love dinosaurs, and those are the reasons I own all these movies, and I've seen them 140,000 times each. I love that is an accurate number. I love the dinosaurs, but just the ideas and the premise behind it. Like I want to jump to the second one already because that one makes zero sense whatsoever.
This is the only time I'm going to defend movie science and say they do it because it's dumb.
Well, they do because they can. That's like agree, like that's the same thing. Yeah,
and it's in a movie and not real life because it's dumb.
Yeah,
it's so I agree with that too. Yeah. Maybe because it's dinosaurs, I hold it so close to my heart. I'm like, no, you guys need to be smarter. I know better things. Like, it's just, I don't know.
It's just supposed to be human hubris that's gone entirely off the rails.
Yeah, that's like the whole premise of the first
one. It's a warning more than it's
which is, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at before too, which is like, that's what I picked up on rewatching it this weekend, is that, like, as opposed to when I was younger and watched this, that was something I didn't pick up on at all, is that there's a little bit more of a, like, the human dynamic to it, and it's like, oh, it's about how humans shouldn't mess with certain things just because we can, and kind of trying to teach us that lesson by having people get eaten by dinosaurs.
And yet we still do that shit.
Well, we do, exactly.
People have seen Terminator still make robots. I guarantee someone's trying to genetically make dinosaurs somewhere.
It's because people are like turning the things that are supposed to be a warning into coolness, right? So like Terminator, he's cool, but he's actually supposed to be a warning against, fucking people are.
I feel like we're just predestined as a species to die. It's just meant to be. The meaning of life is for us to kill ourselves, not kill ourselves, but for like the species to just make an end to us because we're dumb, and we make dinosaurs that eat us.
Think of the legacy that we'll leave when there's dinosaurs and robots ruling the earth.
I just want to have a real life Lego universe. That's what I want. I want that to be my legacy.
Legacy.
There we go. So in Jurassic Park, back to that one.
Yep.
I get that for like horror purposes and like to get your blood flowing, they had to show all the murdery dinosaurs. But I would have liked to see more of the plant eaters. Like the first one you see is the Brachiosaurus just walking by, and I was like, yo, that's my favorite dinosaur right there. And then you see the I can't remember if it was a Triceratops or some member of the shield horn dinosaur family that was sick. I'm pretty sure it was a Triceratops. And then Laura Dern has to take care of that.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see a few more. Just a few more.
Yeah, I agree. Could have used a few more like
happy dinosaurs.
Gentle side of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have also helped in like the impact of the fact that there's all these dangerous ones too. Because like if you had more of the nice ones, you might have had the characters get a little bit more like agreeable to it. Maybe like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh well, some of these could work. Like you could see the argument for the John Hammond character, like the guy who funds the park and wants to do all this stuff, right? Like,
well, he just wants to see dinosaurs, right? He's a kid at heart,
which I get,
which I totally get that. I want to see dinosaurs too, but I don't want to see dinosaurs, man. Like they're dinosaurs.
I kind of know what you mean. It's kind of
like you know what I mean.
I like lions and bears, but I don't want to get that close to one.
I love dinosaurs, but part of the reason I love dinosaurs is because I get to imagine and look at books of dinosaurs. I don't want to be like, hey, is that a stegosaurus? Get stabbed because I snuck up on it. Horses will kick you in the face. You trying to tell me a stegosaurus won't hit you with that tail?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with all these reasons.
Like, you know what I mean? I want to see dinosaurs, but I don't want to see dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know.
They're dinosaurs.
I had one little complaint too, actually, about the computers in it, and this is like a general complaint about a lot of '90s things, which is how they represent people hacking on a computer. Like
I was getting all ready to defend something. No.
Yeah, Craig is on your side.
Like
that
the
still
kid
applies.
The kid says she does hacking, and then she goes sits at a computer and clicks through a video which shows different files represented as like buildings in a virtual landscape, and I'm like, no computer ever has worked that way. That's not how computers work. I was like, were the people in the 90s not aware what computers did? Like, it was the early
90s. The internet was, just in its infancy. It would not have been inconceivable for a place on an island to have its own specially designed infrastructure. Well, however, that is not how hacking works. So unless you work there,
it's not
the fact that she was so in your face about it. It's like
hacking involves like breaking a password or something, but she just sat at the computer and just had to find the right one. She's like, oh, we just have to find the right file. And I'm like, yeah, then just search.
In the computer.
They're in the computer.
Well, it's also just like the representation they put on the screen for it. It's like this, like I said, it's like it looks like this like little digital bunch of warehouses, and that's what represents each file, right? And I'm just like, that's Why do you think that's what a computer looks like? What computer ever has had that as the file storage system? Why does that make any sense?
Like I said, it might have been an internal process, but it was 93. So they
I want you to Google that.
They were trying to spruce up the technology,
liberally.
and it did not go according to plan.
That's just one thing that like really took me out of it a little bit. This kid pretending she was hacking by like, it just makes me realize how like how much more knowledgeable like our generation now is because we grew up with computers versus people who were watching this when we were born.
If an 11-year-old kid nowadays, if I had 2 kids come into my shop, okay, and one of them was like, hey, you're a geek, and the other one's like, no, I'm a hacker, I'd be like, you know what, that kid's probably a hacker. That kid's seen some shit, okay? That kid has hacked the CRA, I guarantee it.
Well, no, I'm not saying that kids can't hack. I'm saying what she did.
No, I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like, today's understanding. Nowadays, if an 11-year-old was like, I can hack, I'd be like, yeah, you can probably hack.
Yep.
Back then, I'd be like, what are you? Are you a hack? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can't hack. You're a hack.
What most people consider to be hacking is very light navigation.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. I've seen Felicity Smoke hack everything, okay?
It was pretty much they didn't know how to operate the search function, so they had to physically look through the files, and it's like...
Yeah, well, I mean, it is 93, so if you can
I don't accept that.
Mouse, you are
I don't accept that.
way better than everybody else.
Yeah, it threw me off because how like focused, because they clearly made a CGI like graphic for that thing, because I don't think it didn't look like a real operating system. I'm pretty sure back in the
probably just a video that they ran through.
That's what I'm saying. It was like that's like they could have just made it look better. Like it just threw me out of the movie a little bit, and I get it. It's not an important part. It just like during this kind of like intense scene where they're like trying to hold out a couple raptors, the kid runs over and is supposed to be saving the day by doing this hacking, and it just like watching it, I'm just like, that's not even a real computer. You're not doing. Stop hitting random keys. You've hit up and down 14 times. No, stop.
That's my kind of hacking right there.
Yeah.
So while we're shitting on the ridiculousness of this movie, I just thought of another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Laura Dern is talking to what's his face, John Hammond, about how everything's cool and the kids are fine unless the raptors figure out how to open doors. And of course, they cut to a scene where the raptors like
opening the door,
slapping the door handle.
Yep.
And part of me is like, you know what? They've already established that they learn. They've had the big part about how they would attack different parts of the electrical fence. And they would never attack the second or the one part twice because they figured it out and that they're hyper intelligent. I'm totally accepting of that. Who the fuck taught them how to open a door? They never even saw that.
Man, the only thing I'm gonna say to that is your dog can open a door.
Who designed
my dog headbutts doors until they slide open. My dog does not go handle.
Who designed a system that's supposed to be able to contain things? That has
why was there no backup generator?
Why is it a knob? Yeah, what place doesn't have a backup generator?
How many trillions of dollars did it cost to get this place off the ground? And they had no backup system whatsoever. Why was there not a second Why was there not a second
island in I assume the Pacific, so it already runs on its own system,
it's
but
off
what
of
happens
Puerto Rico.
Oh, there you go. So it's not. So there's
the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Well, we're not even going to get into
that. Was a football play in the Little Giants. But
I assume it just involves like a country being a jerk for a while and then telling them that they can't vote.
Yeah. But no, like you'd think. Okay, well, if the plant eaters get out, no big deal. We'll just zap them a little bit and push them back in the right way. But if you're going to have monstrous murder bot dinosaurs, you'd think they'd have, at least on those cages, they'd have some type of backup power, right? One could assume?
The only thing I'm going to say... I was going to say, I feel like there's just the arrogance of, like, that's kind of like... I feel like all these little things are part of, like, trying to exaggerate that like emphasis of like the arrogance of human and like
rich people who think they know better.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
And like, should
maybe
we
it's 'cause
create,
we're not
should
rich,
we
we don't
not?
know.
And it's like, well, just
We
because
should not.
Yeah, it's like clearly they weren't prepared for this situation that they thought they were. I think that's kind of the lesson we're taught through all these little stupid things that they forgot that you think are just logical. Yeah, bigger locks on doors. Like
You're absolutely right. You
Maybe
say
not a
the
latch-style door handle.
yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely right. You say should we create, should we not? There's a lot of people out there who shouldn't have kids, who do have kids. They
Stop
created.
procreating.
So you're absolutely right. You know, people are just conflicted, I guess.
That's just humans. We just want to create, but we don't always think about the effects of that creation.
And that's why we create great
it's repercussions,
podcasts.
yes.
Yeah, look at what we're doing.
Exactly.
We're just humans who want to create and don't really think of the repercussions or the fact that we're talking to empty space.
My mom's there.
I can't make a cricket noise.
Cheep. So, moving on from Jurassic Park, is it okay if I move
Yes.
on to The Lost World?
Yes, let's move on to Lost
Okay.
World.
So this movie, I always forget that Julianne Moore's in it.
So do I. I wrote that down
always
too.
forget that
And
she's...
Vince Vaughn.
Yes, I know he's in it. I always forget it's
forget he's in
Julianne
it.
Moore as the girl in
Yeah.
it. Ian Malcolm's
I feel
love
like she's
interest.
shorter in this. Like I feel like I don't know if it's just because she doesn't have heels in this movie. Maybe every other movie I've seen in her, she had heels, but I felt like she was shorter in this than normally. Like
How tall is she? I feel like she's probably like 5'10". Like I feel like she's a tall girl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's a taller girl. Maybe it's just like the cast was really tall because Vince Vaughn is a giant man.
Yeah, well
now
he's
that I think of it.
6'5", 6'6", something like that.
Yeah. So maybe she just looked shorter than normal because she was around a lot
Maybe.
of tall dudes. Because Jeff
Maybe.
Goldblum's lanky and tall too.
Is he tall? See, I feel like Jeff Goldblum was probably like 5'11" max.
5'3". Julianne Moore is 5'3".
Oh,
What?
She's short. Yeah, she's short.
What?
She's just short. Okay, she's
Man.
just straight up short. You know, it's definitely the contrast of her being a foot shorter.
Jeff Goldblum is 6'4".
I knew he was tall. Okay, so that's what it was. It was
Man.
that contrast of her being super short.
How do I
and then
see
being
them at like the
ginormous.
same height though? Like I picture them in my head being like so close. She's 5'3".
You want more fun?
Wow.
Vince Vaughn is only 6'5".
Yes.
Yeah, I
He's
knew. I
only
thought
an
he
inch
was around
taller
there.
than
Man.
only an inch taller than.
Jeff Goldblum's a tall
But that
son
makes
of a
sense
bitch.
because, like, I didn't feel like either of them looked ginormously tall in it. I just felt she looked really short. But it makes sense that they're slightly above average height, and she's just an average height for a woman.
That's fair, I guess. I don't know why I picture her as being tall though. Maybe
Well,
it's because
that's what I was
she's
thinking.
always wearing heels, ready to
That's
kick
what I was-
ass.
yeah, that's what I said before. I was like, I think she normally wears heel and everything we see her in, and then it's like this one, she just had boots, and was around to, like, should be basketball players.
That's true. That's true.
No, Jeff.
But
Goldblum.
either way, Julianne Moore is a babe. Vince Vaughn is amazing, and Peter Postlethwaite reminds me of Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay,
I can see you guys, specifically Craig, being like, "Who the fuck is Peter Postlethwaite?"
I had to flip through the cast of it because I watched it like 2 days ago, right? So I was like, which one is he? Oh, that.
Yeah, that
okay.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just has hair instead of being bald.
Yes. He looks like him, and I always think of it as being Patrick Stewart. And I'm like, oh wait, no,
No,
definitely
not.
definitely not.
But yeah, so like I am the same though. I always forget that. Well, you didn't. I always forget that Vince Vaughn's in this and that Julianne Moore's in it. But this is one of the ones I've always kind of liked because I like the idea of going back to the island.
Well, it's a different island.
That's the part I was like, oh wait, there's another island. And I missed that somewhere along the way and didn't figure it out again until the third one when, she's like, oh, I haven't been to this island. And it's like, wait. Now I'm confused. When did the second island come into it? Was there a prequel I didn't get?
Then you find out that there's a chance there's actually 3 islands.
What? Is that for real?
I'm pretty sure the Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic Park or the Lost World, I'm pretty sure they're 2 separate islands. Like there's Isla Nublar.
Okay.
And then there's 2 other ones, I think. Because I remember at some point he does like drawings.
In the third one he says that this is that hasn't been to that island. So I know there's
okay.
at least 2.
Yes, I know there's at least. I think there's 3.
I just didn't know in the second one that was the second island. I thought that was the first island that they'd gone back to. So I'm really just confused as to
Possibly.
when did that second island get inserted into the canon. Like,
Well,
I got to see that place get fucked up.
Well, they do in the Lost World. They do because that's where they are. Is the other island because that's the island.
second island.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Island.
where they birthed him, but then they all got loose and they just took it over as himself. And then at the end of the movie, they send the Tyrannosaurus back there and they decree it to be like a safety zone and like stay away and. We're just going to let these animals roam free and do what they want, which also doesn't make sense because they were genetically set up that if they didn't get a certain type of like mineral into their
but they were also set up not to be able to have sex. But
that was a chromosome change. Like they changed or they put the wrong genetics in there.
Well, they said they put a frog DNA in it, and that's what gave it and that some amphibians have the ability to change their sex. And I'm like, shouldn't the geneticists
I've looked into that.
Like the guy is explaining why only all living things start off as female. They just need a chromosome to turn male or whatever, right? And it's like, yeah, man, you know that. Shouldn't you know that if you put frog DNA, that frogs can potentially switch that shit? Like, shouldn't he have already known that?
Okay,
instead of some
let's be real.
Pointing it out.
Dr. Donnie Yen. I'm not sure what his name is. He kind of reminds me of Donnie Yen. You know who I'm talking about.
He talked about it's just terrible.
he reminds me of Donnie Yen. He's cool. But anyways, that guy, okay, he is the worst, just the worst person. Okay, he is the bane of this entire franchise. Considering he's been in the franchise since the beginning. He's fucked so much stuff up, okay? The fact that he did this and ruined it, and then he ends up in the Lost World, and he's like, oh yeah, we can genetically modify dinosaurs to friggin' go invisible and do all that sort of shit. Like, why would you create a dinosaur that can camouflage?
Well, that's what I mean, too. What? Like, I agree. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, man, these things can happen. Like, you're telling the guy, like, in in Jurassic World, he's telling... What's his name? He's like, oh, you want the predator stuff without the you can't have one without the other. And it's like, no, man, he didn't ask for you to do it that crazy. No one asked for invisible. Nobody asked for invisible. Like, nobody asked for
laser beams.
Yeah, like
you could have it breathing fire. Did you invent a fucking dragon? Come on, man.
Get some freaking rocket launcher packs. Like, come on, man. There's a line. You went over
splice
it.
So many DNA to make the dinosaur, but you can't just be like, oh no, never mind. We don't want this. Get the fuck out of here. You can totally do that in this movie science. Yes. You can create a whole new hybrid dinosaur of all of them mashed together, and you can't omit certain pieces? Come on.
Like, come on. Like,
if you can't do that, you shouldn't be doing it.
Like, movie science works that Blade can be a vampire, but good. Like, you can do this for dinosaurs. Come on, guys. Like, get shit together. Movie science.
Movie science. Check your movie science textbooks.
Yeah.
Back to the Lost World, okay? Just the way they set it up to go back, where Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's like, yeah, I'm not going back. You're crazy. You told me you want me to go back. I'm not going back. Mm-hmm. End of story. And they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, your friend and her partner, they're already there. He's like, oh, well, I got to go. Yes. Me personally... If you guys went back there after I'd almost died, I'd be like, oh, well, shit, this is their turn, okay?
Yeah, no,
I made it out of there.
I kind of get that.
I broke my leg last time I was around dinosaurs. I almost got eaten. I had to get flown to there on a helicopter. I'm not going back.
Yeah, no, I respect that, man. If I think it's a pretty good pact among the three of us that if any of us decide to fly into a dinosaur-infested island... The other two don't have the responsibility to go get that guy.
Let's be real. Between the three of us, I'm probably the most knowledgeable dinosaur person. And if you guys see that I'm not going to go, and you guys decide to go, that's on you, okay?
Man, I don't even like snakes and lizards. Why would I want to go hang out with giant ones that I can't run away from? Like,
especially if they can become invisible.
Yes, it apparently can become invisible and like... No, just too many teeth. I don't like it. No, I would never go to that. I agree.
Here's the other side of that.
That's the one case you should leave your friends to die. If they decide to go hang out with dinosaurs, you're allowed to leave them to die. Dinosaurs, killer robots. What else? I can't think of anything else funny. So, vampires. There we go.
Vampires. There we go. If zombies show up and they eat your brains, that's your fault. You should have learned how to outrun a zombie.
You should have watched Shaun of the Dead.
Exactly.
Learn to sing, too.
But, so he went back. He goes back. That's his problem. He should have gotten off that boat and been like, I don't care what you're doing. You're leaving. I don't care if it's going to get you tons of money.
Especially since
I almost died here, bitch.
And he has his daughter with him the whole time. That's the other thing you have to put with it. It's like, oh no, apparently going to help my friends is more important than keeping my daughter safe and not on a dinosaur island.
You'd think he would have been like, oh, you're here? You're not coming even if I'm going back. You see that cab out front? Go get in it.
Yeah, go back to your mother. Just go stay with her. I have to apparently go
stay
to a
with
dinosaur
one of my
island.
Go stay with one of my other 2 wives. I don't care. You're not coming to Dino Death Island.
Yes.
Okay? I would rather you go meet King Kong, okay? At least it was beauty that slayed the beast.
Exactly.
Okay? You go to Dinosaur Land and it's dinosaurs that slay the dinosaurs.
That's a very good point.
It's true. But so you get there, and then throughout the movie, you find, oh, there's another team of people there looking to hunt the dinosaurs and take them back to make Jurassic Park.
Which this is the part that just to me in this movie just is the stupidest thing. It's like, wait.
So you're gonna take it off an island and bring it to fucking San Diego?
Yeah, it didn't work on an island where you were away from all the people.
So
Let's bring it closer to all the people.
What? Like, why are these rich people so incompetent?
I don't know. Like, I don't get it.
How did they look at it and say, okay, so we just lost all these people because they got eaten. They're on an island. Okay, we could either leave them on this island and let them all kill themselves and die, or hear me out.
This is thought.
Let's bring them into one of the highest traveled to places on the West Coast.
One of the highest densely populated areas in America. Not like top 10, but probably like top 15.
Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah, I was throwing that as a thing to you, Craig, to give you something to do.
Well, we just complained about how stupid this is. Like,
yeah, like I get, like that's the one thing I like. As much as I kind of like this one, I hate that part of it. I'm just like, no, like no one's this dumb. You don't just bring giant things back.
Exactly. Like I said, I love dinosaurs, and I love that aspect of the movie. I like watching the people run and try to survive the dinosaurs trying to eat them. I like it all.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yes.
Until you sit down and actually think, like,
I want dinosaurs in North America where if they get out in freaking San Diego, there's a 100% chance in the next 10 to 15 weeks they'll make it here. I believe that.
Here's the other part of it. Okay. The company is sending these people over to these islands to document and do whatever, right?
Yeah.
None of them are trained in what any of these dinosaurs might do. They have one guy who hunts in his team.
But they send other people. Dinosaurs because
they send other people
on this thing.
Yeah. They send other people over there to do stuff, and they're not trained in what to do in certain scenarios. Okay. Yeah. How you do any job, and there is anything that may harm you in that job, you have to do training on that. You want to work, you want to climb to the top of a ladder and get something from a top shelf? Well, you better have your working at heights certification. You're telling me you're going to send someone to an island with dinosaurs, and you're not at least going to pull out a friggin' textbook and say, okay, well, this Tyrannosaurus, it can't see you if you don't move. Don't do that. Oh, this is a raptor. Yeah, you did. You did.
Well, the other thing,
see it, you're dead.
Go ahead, Craig.
Okay. San Diego, population 1.4 million. It is number 8 in the United States.
It did make the top 10.
Computer 5, Scott.
San Diego is the equivalent size of Mississauga plus Brampton, for those of you who are familiar with the GTA.
With Canada.
Can you throw out an English reference for our UK listeners?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Imagine all of Ireland and then half of Scotland.
1.4 million people.
I think there are more people in both of those.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Let's find out. While you're doing that, we're going to go back to complaining about this movie. So, we go back, and we got Peter Postlethwaite.
Yeah, there's more people in Ireland all on its own.
Perfect.
4.77 million.
Perfect. So, Peter Postlethwaite, he's like, all I want is... I can't remember what he refers to it as. I want to say the boar, but I'm not sure. He wants the bull. That's what it is. He wants the bull. Because he wants to shoot the male Tyrannosaurus. Yeah. And they're all hopped up on hormones about taking care of their baby, which is all fine and dandy. And this guy is the only one who seems to know what he's talking about because he's like, oh, yeah, we're on a game trail. You want to set up base camp where they pass through to eat food. What? Like, he was the only scene too, he was the only one who had common sense enough to be like, dude, no.
No, this is
and then,
dumb. Yeah.
But then there's the guy who goes to try to take a shit and he gets eaten, he dies. So that's 2 Jurassic Park movies. People have died just trying to take dumps. Like
those
I would be so screwed. I would be so screwed on this trip. Let's be real.
Not eating for the whole time.
No, I'm not eating before I go.
Ain't having no dairy.
Bless you, my child.
Thank you.
But oh god, like it's just it's irritating thinking how irresponsible this whole thing was.
Yeah, and it's not like we don't have zoos in the world, right? And it's like they don't apply any of that same logic to this at all. It's like
none.
I feel like zoos handle this a lot better. Like, yeah, they're smaller animals, but we have like bears and tigers and stuff in zoos. So we somehow managed to get those dangerous creatures in and keep them there without fucking up too much. And apparently they can't do that with dinosaurs, or like they can't apply those same like thoughts to dinosaurs. It's like have you guys, is there one zoologist in the group? Like
no, apparently not.
You just got a hunter.
We have National Geographic photographers.
Yep, yeah.
Like
this one's yeah.
Like it's a good movie. It's one of the better ones in the whole saga.
Yeah.
But just the common sense behind it.
Yeah,
Ian Malcolm has survived this before. He knows. And how many times did he try to run away from a Tyrannosaurus? Multiple times.
So many times.
Multiple times. Okay? That poor dog got eaten. That has nothing to do with anything. But the dog got eaten. I don't want to see movies where dogs get eaten, okay?
No, I appreciate that. I was looking at my notes and I'm like, I forgot that the boat crashes into the harbor too, and that's how they kind of get let loose on land. It's like,
because they eat the captain and stuff, and then which that part always kind of confused me. Like, how did it eat the whole crew?
Yeah, like
the ship wasn't the size of the friggin' flying boats from the Avengers. Yeah. Like, how what got loose in there to eat them? Oh, and especially because they showed the scene where
how does it line up perfectly to shore too? If they ate the captain and stuff, nobody
how
is it perfectly on course?
I don't know if you saw, but the Tyrannosaurus is bigger than the house that it ate the dog from. Okay,
no, I know that one. Yeah.
How did it maneuver? Like, is it like the basilisk from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets? Does it maneuver through the pipes?
Pipes. Like, I don't know if that's a Tyrannosaurus. Maybe that's for the
Tyrannosaurus. Are Tyrannosaurus like ferrets? Can their ribs overlap and they can squeak through little things because they can make themselves so damn small?
Maybe that's why they have such tiny arms. So the elbows.
This isn't even movie science flaws. This is just flaws.
Like logic, yeah.
Like the scene where it's just a hand sitting on top of the still perfectly gripping the steering wheel because the dude got eaten.
Apparently.
How? What? I saw that friggin' I saw the, I don't know if they call it cockpit, whatever it is. I saw that room. Yeah. What fit in there? What ate him in one whole huge gulp like that? Even if the baby got loose, there would be a corpse lying somewhere.
Yeah, like they can't chop
that baby had a broken leg. It is not going to grab someone and drag it back to mommy and daddy.
Yeah, definitely not.
God, like.
It's just supposed to look cool.
It does look cool, but it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And then they save the day, and they send them back to the island, and Ian Malcolm's like, I'm never dealing with dinosaurs again for at least another 15 to 20 years.
And they pay me some more money.
And then it comes back. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's, 21 years now.
Yep.
Because it came out, it was 97, right?
97.
Yeah. So it's been 21 years, and he's like, okay, cool, I'll deal with more dinosaurs.
Yeah. Apparently that's the time frame. 20 years. 20 plus years you had to wait before.
20 years between dealing with 21 years before dealing with dinosaurs. 20 years between dealing with aliens and then coming back and dealing with more aliens.
Damn, Jeff Lacombe puts up a lot of shit.
Yeah. I feel like he just watched what's it called? I can't remember. Lethal Weapon. He watched Lethal Weapon too many times, and he's like, this guy, like, if this guy can keep going, I can keep going. Thanks, Danny Glover.
Goldblum is not getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say,
clearly he's not getting too smart for this shit either.
Well, no, I think in this new one, I think he's just hanging out, like giving a warning, be like, "No, guys, you don't want to do this."
He's like, "I've been there twice."
He's got first billing on the movie, but he only has a 5-second line.
I think it's just that scene is what I meant. It's like that scene. He's like elaborates a little more on it, but I think that's the only time we see him in this movie. But
like,
that's my prediction.
I want to see him. I want to see him in this movie. There, do his thing in court and be like, "Are we done here? Because I need to go do more real estate commercials." So he goes back to that the commercial he did.
Practicing my jazz piano.
Yes, I need to get back to Sakar, even though I think I'm dead.
No, he's not dead yet.
He's not dead?
No, at the end we see... Well, we don't see him die, I should say.
That's why I said I think I'm dead.
I don't think he is. That's all
I don't know. I really don't want to see him again in the future, though. Like, his character didn't do anything.
Well,
maybe animated, maybe some shorts. Maybe, like, some short scenes thrown in, but...
Yeah. Well, no,
like as extras on the DVD.
Is like... the same lines as like the Collector, because they're brothers, in the MCU canon, those two are brothers. So like I would kind of like if they came back as like a short little scine like that, like maybe not as heavy as
just like slapping each other, like why did you do this?
Something. Why did you give up a stone? Why didn't you help me take over my planet? I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was too busy playing weird jazz music and not talking about how old I am.
I love that song.
I was attacked by dinosaurs, man, okay? You just go kill people intensely in Sicario and Sicario 2. And a bunch of other stuff. Please go see Sicario 2, guys. On to Jurassic Park 3.
But only if it doesn't interfere with any of the movies that have been mentioned before that have my name attached.
Yes. Thanks, Craig. Thanks for pilfering my viewers.
Jurassic Park 3, The New Millennium.
Which is
been called.
This is a movie that a lot of people hated, and truthfully, I don't mind this one. This one is one that this one probably makes the most sense. Like from a logical,
it's the one with the least annoying kid too. That's the one thing I like to point out about the third one. It's probably my favorite because the kids in all the other movies are fucking annoying. And they're not real. Like to me, they don't feel like real kids. Like they all act in such stupid, like fake kid ways. Like I'm like, I would have never reacted like that as a child. Like you could act like, slightly inexperienced and stuff, but like children, you can't assume all children are stupid. That's what I don't like. It's just like, oh, these kids are dumb. Like the hacking girl. Like you weren't hacking. You navigated a computer, girl. So yeah. Sorry. I mean the children. But this one I feel has the best kid because he's kind of smart. He's a little bit of a smart ass to his parents, and he survives, like he's not a little pussy about it.
Yeah.
He
figures his shit out, right?
Like, yeah, exactly, which is what I like. I think that's why I like this one probably the most out of all of them. Kind of. Maybe not the most, but I feel like that's one of the advantages this movie has.
Like, I don't know, like I like that it's more realistic, okay? You get the I want to say his name was Eric, the apprentice underneath Alan Grant. Yeah. The guy who goes with him, he's like, "Oh man, we need so much money to keep our digs going. I'm going to steal this raptor egg, okay?" That's blatant stupidity, but he should know better, but he's doing it for a good reason. It's not just whatever, we're rich. Yeah. We're rich, let's just try to see if this happens.
Yeah.
Like everything else has been. And then the only reason they went back, it wasn't for any reason. It was just they were lied to.
Yeah.
They were straight up just told, "Hey, listen, we're going to fly over. You're going to look at some stuff and we're going to do this." They weren't just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, your friend's there."
Yeah. And I like that they kept hiding the fact that, like I like A, that they got tricked into going, and B, that they kind of like keep hiding, like at first that they just want to go get their kid, right? But it's like, oh well, no, we have to make up all these lies, or you might not have helped, and I just really like the way that kind of plays out, and I think that kind of adds to this movie. I agree. Like it adds kind of more realism to it because it's like, yeah, no, these guys wouldn't want to go back. He says for the first like 20, 30 minutes of this movie, no, fuck dinosaurs. They should stay as freaking bones. He says that. He's like, no. He even says something about like real scientists study bones, not whatever he created on that island, right? Like he kind of
when he's at the lecture he's giving and people are asking,
exactly,
he's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you, kids. You want to see dinosaurs? Go die.
Yeah,
by getting eaten by a dinosaur.
Yeah, so the fact that he has to be tricked into returning, it's like, I think that really adds to the story. Like, it made it more interesting. I'm like, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also kind of like that they gave him PTSD in this one. Like, you see it a couple times where, like, the kid's playing with the dinosaur, like, wah, wah, and he's, like, just staring off into space. And, like, I don't want to say it's cool that he has PTSD, because that sucks for everybody who has it.
Effect of the
but,
first movie.
Yeah.
Because that would be
like
traumatic.
It was probably the most realistic thing. Like, friggin' Laura Dern, she doesn't even do dinosaur stuff anymore. She's like, I almost died. I told Alan in the first one I wanted to have kids. I have a kid now because this is way better. I know this thing that I just created isn't going to eat me. Hopefully you're not Buffalo Bill. Hopefully you're not Buffalo Bill.
I'm glad we both said hopefully at the same time.
Hopefully. But like it's like this one, it just made the most sense. Like just logically, everything came together. It made sense. This kid, he's pulling shit out of his ass to try to survive on the island by himself after his stepdad gets eaten. Which, first of all, why is stepdad taking him that close to the rocks in the first place?
Why is he taking him that close to the freaking island? Like, I feel like this island must be really close to the mainland. Like, close enough to the mainland.
Like, do you think it's in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle or something? Like,
well, I always imagine
people just accidentally end up there.
Thinking about it, I'm just like, the amount of times this guy was just on a speedboat. It's not like a speedboat can make it that far away from the mainland, right? So it's like they're pretty close by to like get to where they were. A dinosaur island, which had restrictions. They kept mentioning that in that one in particular too. It's like, no, you're not allowed to go to that. It's
restricted airspace. Oh no! The Costa Rican government gave us permission because we're so rich. Yeah. Was it Costa Rica?
Well, I don't know. I think I said Puerto Rico before, and then you said Costa Rica,
and then we went into a whole thing.
It's one of those two.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Costa Rica sounds right to me. It might be Puerto Rico. Costa Rica just sounds right to me.
No, that's why I was agreeing. I was like, it's probably Costa Rica. I'd believe you on it more than I'd believe my own thing on it because
They're islands, okay? We live in Ontario. We're the center of the universe. Nothing matters. So, anyways,
Costa Rica.
There. Okay.
Okay.
So,
I love the Pacific. I was right.
Boom! Look at that. We're getting so much stuff right today. We're learning.
Except I said it was Puerto Rico, which was wrong.
Yeah, but you learned because of us saying other things. So technically, we're all right here.
I'm gonna go with that.
So, anyways, the additions of characters. Okay, I like that they brought back original characters, Laura Dern and Alan, whatever his last name, Grant. I always forget the actor's name. Yeah. I like that they've got him in there. I like that they brought in Téa Leoni into it as the mom. Mm-hmm. The mom of the kid. And William H. Macy, at first, when I first saw it, seemed like a weird addition.
Yeah.
But it worked out very well.
He fit really well
especially, I like the part where they're like, you were fat, but you lost a lot of weight and you look good. We've seen each other naked. Because it took me up until like that part to realize, oh shit, they're divorced. I thought they were still together. They are not.
No.
Just because they lead in when like it's their anniversry at the beginning and they're pretending. Yeah. But like, oh no, that was so good. I would like, I would have watched if they had made like a Jurassic Park 4 and had this cast back together trying to like do something else. Like I would have liked it. I wouldn't have wanted to see it, but I would have liked it.
I didn't find with it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I like that. I like the way they like. They're kind of like really naive, but they're brave enough to go save their kid. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot. A lot of people would just write the kid on the dinosaur island off. But they, have the guts to go do it, even though they are like in no way like prepared to be able to handle that kind of thing. Like he is not like any kind of adventurer guy, right?
It was blatant stupidity, but it was admitted blatant stupidity.
Exactly, yeah.
It wasn't, oh yeah, we have so many people here, nothing's gonna go wrong. It was, well, we have 3 guys. Let's hope for the best.
We and then they friggin' we could. We lied. We're just trying to save our kid though, and I'm like,
and then 2 of those guys die within like 3 minutes of being on the island.
And the kid wasn't annoying, so I get it. I'm like, okay, if the kid was more annoying, I'm like, yeah, you would have left him. I would have left him.
That's the big part. I also like the conclusion of this movie, the way they finish it off by having like the friggin' Marines show up.
Yeah.
They have the friggin' submersible tanks like show up. Like the first time they actually send the army in to save the day.
Yeah,
like
the ones who could legit handle dealing with these things. Yeah, no, I agree. I also like the addition of the big bird cage in this one.
Yeah. In this one, I'm trying to think. Is this the one where someone gets eaten on the beach of the island? Was it this one or was it Jurassic Park 2?
I think that was 2 at the beginning.
The last one. See, there's another thing that makes no sense. Why are they on that island? I don't want to take us back to the other one, but just why are they there? Who let them go there?
Rich people again. It was rich people. I remember them saying rich people.
You just get to do what they want?
I think the wife was like, I don't think we're supposed to be here. And the husband's like, oh, dear, it'll be fine. There's nothing's going to bother us. And then their daughter...
Until the fact that their daughter dies.
Yeah. Well, I assume they died too.
That's on you, Playboy. But
Jurassic Park 2, by the way.
Yes, but no, like Jurassic Park 3, it gets so much hate. It's probably like the most legit one.
Yeah, like it's most like kind of believable, like of them all. It's like it had the addition of like a new dinosaur. I think it had a new dinosaur, right? Am I mixing this one up? I think.
This one has a Spinosaurus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the big bad they show more than the Tyrannosaurus. Like they show the T-Rex once.
Yeah, because then they show the day, right?
Yeah, they show the Spinosaurus throughout most of it because they have it in the river.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it ate the guy who had the satellite phone,
which I hated
and it shit it out.
And I still do.
Yes. Yeah, that one sucks.
So annoying.
But they have to pull it out of the shit.
Yeah.
They show it. I do like the scene where it's like snuck up on them when they're inside the cage and it's just like in the back like.
Yeah, peeking at them. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, yo, I'm going to eat you. You might want to start running.
I'm going to eat you.
It's funny that it snuck up on them. Like I don't know how it would have walked. Like if it was very light on its feet, because its feet do look different than the T-Rex. It looks a little because it swims. It's got a little more like that. Yeah, like that, very light-footed. So maybe it's a little more tender-footed, I guess I should say. Because the Tyrannosaurus walks and it shakes the water. Yeah. This Spinosaurus just crept up and diddled on them.
Yeah, and not a person heard a crack of one branch.
not one. I mean, like moose can move through a forest and not get heard. So like. Maybe a Spinosaurus could do it, probably not, but maybe. I just like the fact that, and it totally goes against everything I've said about the ridiculousness of the other ones.
Yeah,
I just like that scene where you look over and things like,
yeah,
just because I picture Kevin Hart doing the.
That's fair. Yeah, it's very
like that's if Kevin Hart was a dinosaur, it'd be that Spinosaurus. That's not true, but I like the look of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And I like that it's like it wasn't some kind of like stupid made up. I don't think it's made up. I think it was like I'm pretty sure when that one came out it was like a newly discovered dinosaur too at the time. If I'm not mistaken. Like
I don't think it was newly discovered. I think that one's been out for a while.
I thought that was one of the movies like had that connection.
It might have been.
That they
I think they were just trying maybe they had found out more information about it or something because I think the Spinosaurus has been out for a while. But I really liked that they introduced the new big bad, so to speak. And I thought it was a nice angle to actually have one because I wasn't a huge fan, like I said, of the Jurassic World, then bringing in the genetic modified one.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like these things are legit terrifying enough. You don't need to make it scarier. Like it's overkill. Yeah. It really is overkill, which we're kind of venturing into talking about Jurassic World, I guess.
Yeah. I just want to say one last thing, and this is just a dream of mine. I want to say the Taya Leone character. I kind of want in my mind to imagine that this is a connected universe with Fun with Dick and Jane.
Okay.
Like, it's the same actress, and she's been through a lot of shit with the Dinosaur Islands. Maybe because she broke the law being there, she wanted to come back and like start her life fresh, start over new. So she meets up with Jim Carrey's character, okay? Yeah. So, and then, like, you see it in the scene in Fun with Dick and Jane where they're going to rob the tattoo parlor, and they're in, like, they got the black lights on in there, and everyone's glowing. Yep. You can see it, like, they have the scene where she's like, come on, man, like, let's go.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to lose the house. And she's, give me the fucking money.
Yeah.
Again, she loses it. Like she's been through so much shit already. If it's the same character, like you can force it to tie.
You could
force the tie knot.
Except you'd also have to force that she's abandoned her child.
Maybe the kid wants nothing to do with her anymore. Maybe she's like, why did you let my stepfather take me to Dino Island?
Well, then she'd be like, he was only my boyfriend. We never got married.
He's like, that's even worse.
I know.
You let your boyfriend take me out? Why did William H. Macy not step in? What type of dad is he?
Well, he's clearly not the ballsy type.
The ballsy type?
He's not. He's not a ballsy type.
He's totally the ballsy type.
He's a pushover in this movie a little bit. Like, he's ballsy. He's got the bravery to go save it, but he's like, his personality, I mean, it's like you can tell he's not the tough guy. True. He's the kind of guy who gets pushed around a little bit. But that's the way I've always seen him as a character, to be honest. In any movies, and he's always to be
everything
the guy who gets
except for
shoved
Frank and Shameless, like everything, he's always been kind of the pushover.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So maybe I'm projecting that on him a little bit.
Like Wild Hogs, dude's a pushover. Maybe that's why you just assume that.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe I'm projecting that as his background. You know what I mean? Like,
you're basing his whole career off that.
But well, it's fair. I might be giving him I might be judging.
Maybe that's what happens for him. Wild Hogs universe is tied in.
You beat me to it.
There we go. The kid hates both of them because they're like, you both let me go to Dinosaur Island. Screw you guys. I'm out. So he leaves. William H. Macy's like, well, I own a business. I might as well go back to school and learn how to do computers. And then he meets all these motorcycle guys, and he's like, yeah, I can ride a motorcycle maybe. I've seen dinosaurs.
That's a connection.
There we go. He falls back in love. It's cool.
Yeah. And that kid just went somewhere into this world.
We'll figure it out.
He turns into Chris Pratt.
He's in the system.
So moving on to Jurassic Park.
Just World.
4, a.k.a. Jurassic World.
Yeah.
This one is just a crock of shit right from the get-go.
Yeah, we've been hating on it a bunch.
Do you guys feel like it got, like, the rebrand was intentional?
What do you mean?
Because it's not Jurassic Park, it's Jurassic World. Do you think that somebody in the Jurassic Park area was like, no, don't you dare use
I think it was a little bit of both.
Term.
I think it was a little bit not wanting to tread on the old one too much.
Yep.
Are we talking like the studio making it, or are we talking about like
who named it?
Okay. I look at it as kind of like, the new Star Wars movies where The Force Awakens was like a rehash of A New Hope. Mm-hmm. Like the same movie for a new generation. I look at it being the exact same type of thing as that. Yeah. Where they're like, we're going to get the people who already saw Jurassic Park to come see it. But now we have new movies for a younger generation who this is going to be their Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Except that it's infuriating because didn't you learn anything from the first 3 movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after all this shit that's happened, they still thought it was a good idea to genetically modify their own frickin' dinosaur and make it invisible. Yeah, none. And they still didn't even have the backup paddock. They did not have any backup generators for this one, too.
Yeah.
And to make it all worse, in this upcoming one, they built it all on a friggin' island with an active volcano.
History is doomed to repeat itself.
Oh my god.
Every 5 to 10 years, apparently.
Yeah. Oh man, this is just infuriating.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I wrote down that I support anything that Chris Pratt normally does, but this movie I was just like, why couldn't you just take that outfit over to an Indiana Jones remake, or like
when I saw it in theaters, I was so psyched. I was like, fuck yes, I love dinosaurs. I like that you added some marine dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You added more pterodons. I like that. It was a little too action-packed for me. Didn't need it because the originals weren't nothing, like they weren't just action movies. They was like they were running for their lives the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, exactly.
There wasn't like ultimate sacrifice like the owner of the park did.
Yeah, exactly.
Which Which his whole thing too is just a piss off. Like, oh, I promised John Hammond on his deathbed that I would get the park up and running again.
See, the annoying thing about that is that John Hammond in like the second one
should have known way better.
Well, he says that
be like, get it back up and running.
He says that at the end of the second one, they have like a little clip of him like giving like a press conference, being like, "We should leave these animals to themselves and not try and bring them back." And then it's like, "Oh no, you guys just slashed that up with this Jurassic World by being like, no, this guy said it was cool." And he's like, but you guys learned nothing.
But he said it wasn't cool.
2 islands, 3 movies later, you guys learned nothing.
How many people have to die, sir?
How much money do you have to spend? Like, that's the other thing. It's like, just looking at the financial cost of the first 2 ventures and all the lawsuits I imagine happened after all those families.
Oh, for sure. How many insurance policies had to be paid out, like life insurance?
What insurance company's now covering this? Which one's like, oh yeah, this happened.
Yeah, really.
We're 0 for 2. We literally have a 0% success rate at this right now. Here's your insurance
I can't
policy.
imagine an auto insurance company that would support them with all these Jeeps. What is going on? Where are they? Like, what is this money? I would pay to add my money to $100 million. That's a John Mulaney joke thrown in there. Yeah.
You can see the $100 million, and for $20, you can have your money
added to the $100 million.
$100 million. Ooh.
So
luxurious.
Yeah. Like, I would do that. Okay, John Mulaney's absolutely right. I want to see dinosaurs, but I don't want to see dinosaurs. Like, especially they brought back more murderous dinosaurs.
Yeah, with the claim of, oh, people want the excitement. Yeah, well, fuck people. People want a lot of things. You don't have to bring back ones that are going to eat everybody.
Here's my other thing, okay, where they have Chris Pratt being the alpha, okay?
Yeah.
Which it was kind of cool that they had, Charlie Delta and Blue was supposed to be the beta. I like that, he was the king of the castle, so to speak. But just because he raised them from birth doesn't mean he's going to be the alpha. You guys have met my cat. I've had her since she was 2 weeks old, okay?
You are not
I am not the alpha.
Nope.
I am not. She scares grown men out of beds.
Yep.
Okay?
Because they're
animals. That happened. Because you can't control them.
Yep.
I love her to death.
With them.
She is the alpha herself, okay? You telling me the things that have the claws and the teeth, they're going to listen to a guy who puts his hand up for a high five?
Even if it is Chris Pratt, like, I would stop, but
I'd be like,
ooh,
you played Andy. You're Star-Lord. You killed everybody.
Ooh, spoiled.
Ooh.
Wow. Some people haven't seen Infinity War yet.
Okay, there's like 4 people in the world who haven't seen Infinity War. We already did our Infinity War episode.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a defense for that.
My point is, that's a crock of shit.
Yep. No, I agree.
Also, the Bryce Dallas Howard part at the end where like she lets out Rexy and runs with the flare. Are you trying to tell me that Rexy just casually followed her? That guy takes like 2 steps and he could have caught up with her running in heels.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think that was supposed to be, again, an homage to like the first one where you've got, first Alan, what's his name, and then Jeff Goldblum's character then does that, runs, and then that's how he gets... Yeah. Right? So I think it was supposed to be a slight homage to that, but then it's like, heels... No, that thing's 40 feet tall. That means its legs are at least a 20-foot step. Like, you're not that far ahead of it.
You're in heels.
You're in friggin'
Even
heels.
if you can, I'm a different kind of winner. That was a Family Guy reference. But that weird fight scene at the end where it was like 3 carnivorous dinosaurs against the Indominus Rex.
Yeah.
For starters, you trying to tell me that the thing that was genetically modified to be like the smartest, most adapting hunter-killer dinosaur got beaten out by that?
Yeah.
Don't think so. And considering the only reason he died was because apparently aqua dinosaurs are like, yo, T-Rex needs a buddy, let me just jump up and drag this thing into the water.
Yeah, it seemed very convenient. That thing never jumped up to eat any humans. But yeah, I wanted to get for that one T-Rex.
Yeah. It jumped up to eat the shark or whatever that it fed.
Yeah.
Whatever it was feeding before it jumped up to eat that, and that was it.
I think it was a shark, yeah.
Which begs to, why are they feeding sharks to this thing? I'm pretty sure a lot of sharks are on some form of endangered list or a protected species.
Man,
and they're feeding them to dinosaurs?
Ethics.
Yeah,
I do.
PETA,
I'm questioning
PETA would
this.
be all over this.
Cloning dinosaurs.
The ethics behind creating these dinosaurs is enough to question. Right from the get-go, and now we're four movies
they're
in.
already super flawed human beings. They're creating dinosaurs and then genetically mutating them, and then holding them against their will, and then they're feeding other animals to them. Like, really, where you start with the first line, don't you?
Yeah.
Everything
And then
beyond that is
Dr. What's-His-Face still thinks it's a good idea, even though he's crooked as all shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he gets money and doesn't die, because he's not a frontline worker.
Well, he's so mad scientist-y. He's kind of like, what's his name in Batman? The one that messes with all the Arkham guys.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like he just
Strange.
he just
Strange.
Hugo,
there we go.
So like,
I was going to say Edward, but it was not Edward.
He does it out of curiosity and a slight sense of like scientific discovery, but it's also corrupted because they're just madmen, right? You know what I mean? Like you could pretend that you're doing this for all this glory or for like the advancement of science, but you're doing it for your own personal glory and sense of feeling like a god. And it's like, no, man.
He's already said, like, he already brought dinosaurs back. Like,
yeah.
I guess the next logical step is to create your own dinosaur.
Exactly.
But you know what you could do? Freaking create the cure for spina bifida.
Yeah.
Okay? Create something. Something that helps people, doesn't get them eaten.
Yeah.
And the fact
there's so
fact
many
that
endangered species that don't eat people that are like gone, you know? Like, help one of them out.
They even referenced that in the first one. John Hammond's like, well, if I brought back the condor, no one would complain. Well, why didn't you bring back the condor? Have a zoo full of condors.
Yeah, like, that makes more sense. I feel like it'd be a lot easier to find some condor freaking DNA kicking around than trying to find random freaking mosquitoes. Like, that's the other thing. They had to find a mosquito that happened to bite every different single dinosaur they
between
ever
Jurassic
got.
okay
and then
between Jurassic Park 1, okay,
yeah,
they have that. Jurassic Park 2, they introduced some other new dinosaurs, specifically the ones that herded together and they did the stampede. Okay, those ones I can write that off. Maybe they just hadn't introduced them in the first one. By the third one, you've got those same dinosaurs, and now all of a sudden the friggin' Spinosaurus shows up. Okay, whatever, do your thing. Maybe that was there.
Yeah, maybe.
But by the fourth one, they have so many different types of dinosaurs that weren't there before. Who was still financing these digs to find them?
Where are we finding all these freaking mosquitoes? Like,
where did they find underwater mosquitoes?
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. The mosquitoes couldn't go underwater. Is there such thing as dinosauric water mosquitoes?
Is there water amber? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Is that what evolution stones in Pokemon are? They're just mosquitoes that happen to get stuck in that thing. A firestone is a mosquito that got stuck in some fiery amber. Yeah. A water stone is an underwater amber mosquito.
Maybe is this telling us that Pokemon and Jurassic World, maybe that's where Jurassic World's going this whole time. It's leading up to the Pokemon universe. They're all all these dinosaurs are going to evolve.
They are genetically modifying them.
They're all going to evolve into Pokemon, and then that's where we're getting Detective Pikachu from. I solved it.
There we go.
They called it World so that more people around the world will watch it.
True.
I get it. I solved it.
Figured it out.
One thing I can't figure out is why they used only CGI for the dinosaurs. Like,
yeah. Well, I think in the new one that's coming out, they went back to the animatronic,
which is smart. Like,
they went back to the erotica or whatever it was.
Autoerotica.
They went back to autoerotica dinosaurs.
Yeah, which, like, I'm glad that for this one they've gone back, because I always believed in, like, you know, you do practical and enhance practical with CGI. That's what I like the best of. But when you go all CGI, especially for animals that, like, you didn't they didn't mocap any of these, obviously, which you couldn't really, but it's like you're just inventing how all these dinosaurs move because we don't know that much about. Like, we do have some idea, but I don't think a freaking graphic designer is or whatever the CGI guys are spending that much time on like how the dinosaur walked. When it's like, just you guys could have made one. Like,
yeah,
just put one together. I'm sure you got one still kicking around in a lot.
Oh, for
somewhere.
sure. Someone probably owns it. The Batmobile is out there, for Christ's sakes.
Exactly.
Like, it's got to be out there.
We're humans.
Like,
we don't throw away anything.
That's true.
Except for garbage.
Especially movie related.
Everything away.
Our
The
futures.
oceans would like to argue.
Yeah, I
with
know.
us,
But no, like it's I agree with you. The motion
CGI.
capture or the CGI is too much. Like I look at the Jaws movies when they had the animatronic sharks. Those movies
Exactly.
were so much better.
And you're
You
telling
look
me-
at Deep Blue Sea. The storyline was way better in Deep Blue Sea than it was in Jaws.
And it's like you're
But
telling me
just the fact that it's CGI was disappointing.
Exactly.
Like,
And you're saying that CGI is cheaper than making it when they used to be able to make it? like electronics have come a long way. It's all cheaper. You could make a freaking, like, I don't know expert, but I'm assuming it's cheaper to make an animatronic now than it was 20 years ago.
okay.
So
Let's
why
use
not?
Flash logic. Let's use Flash logic, okay?
Okay.
Cisco can make everything out of anything, and it all looks top notch, like the final version of it right off the bat.
Yeah.
If he can do that with no budget whatsoever, they can do this in movie land.
Definitely. I agree.
Moving on,
Yes.
before I have some type of aneurysm from this, what did you guys watch this week?
Thank goodness.
Yeah, let Craig go since he hasn't talked much today.
At all?
My list is very. Hey. My sound wave looks very full this week.
Okay.
Okay, I have contributed significantly to this episode.
He was Googling stuff about population
That's
density.
true. That's true.
In comparison to previous episodes, especially episodes where I haven't actually watched any of the subject matter, I've done pretty well this week.
That's very true.
Fair. That's fair.
Congratulations, Craig.
Thank you. I will accept my cash rewards later. This week, I watched Family Guy. I watched some Family Guy.
Nice. First time in a while.
That's the first time mentioning it in a while.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kind of, I've been, pick up an episode here or there, but I've been watching a lot more of them recently. What else did I watch? I watched most of Moana. I've never seen that movie before.
I still haven't watched it.
What do you think of it?
It was okay.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, it just is a movie.
That's how I feel about
I like the
Disney ones
story.
like that.
It feels like it tries really hard.
I liked most of the story, but they can get rid of the pig and the chicken. There is zero reason for that pig and chicken.
It feels like it tries really hard, and they really, really, really want me to laugh at the chicken. I'm not gonna laugh.
I get why they put it in there because it's got to be like they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell
slapstick for
toys.
6-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to sell toys for it. I understand that, but as a person watching the movie, I didn't need it.
They're going for a new what's it called? The snowman from Frozen
Olaf?
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're going
but
for a new
at
one of
least-
those.
Olaf could talk, first of all.
That's true.
fair. I'm not
Olaf made
exactly
funny ass
sure
jokes.
How much
This
these
movie-
guys apply to
This
it.
movie felt like it was the first the first kids movie I've watched in a while that didn't try to make adult type jokes in a sort of thinly veiled way.
That's true. Like the Lego
Aw.
movie.
It's just all
It's
just
only for a kid. I'm so glad I haven't watched this yet because I can only
it just-
survive these ones where they have like some adult stuff to like be like, yeah, we know parents are watching this with their kids. Here's a little something for you. I can't handle all kid
none
stuff.
none of that. It just feels like it's trying really hard, and I mean, yeah. That's about all I have to say about Moana.
That's fair.
I don't think I'll watch the rest of it unless I am caught watching
Aw.
a kid again.
Yeah.
Same as this time.
So you don't Moana watch it anymore?
I don't Moana watch it anymore. Anna. I watched the newest episode of that Vox plus Netflix series Explained.
Yep.
I don't know
Okay.
if either one of you have watched any of that, but
Not yet.
cryptocurrency came out this week.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
I didn't feel like I learned anything from cryptocurrency.
Well, you said it's
I
20
I feel
minutes,
like I
right?
feel like that's the point.
It's 20 minutes long, but the problem is that in 20 minutes you can only touch on all the stuff I already knew already.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Because I've watched Banking on Bitcoin, and I've listened to other podcasts on
Yeah. Exactly.
cryptocurrency and all this stuff. So I kind of already knew everything that was in it, and they can only gloss over things that don't get covered in a 2-hour documentary about cryptocurrencies.
For sure. Yeah, that can make, I could see that. But it'd be good for someone who didn't know.
It was good if you don't know what cryptocurrency is.
So cool. We could recommend this to our parents next time they ask what Bitcoin is.
And I'll be like, I don't know, Mom. I cut hair.
It's only 20 minutes long. That's the case I tried to make for the like whenever anybody asks me about how Bitcoin works.
Yeah.
I always try to point them towards the Planet Money episode about the blockchain.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Nobody wants to sit and listen to a 20-minute podcast, but if you tell them that there's a 20-minute show on Netflix, they might consider it.
That's fair.
Because at least there's
which is ridiculous.
Colors to keep people because not everybody has the same attention span for us. Arguably, you could say that we have that sort of attention span because we're the podcast /
what attention span? See what I did there?
Yeah. Anyway, I realized halfway through the explanation.
I was fucking with you.
I'm just gonna keep
rolling.
Going.
Keep on trucking.
Exactly. The last thing I watched this week, and now this is the moment of truth for all you listeners who are gonna say, did he or didn't he watch Jurassic World? Because that's the only thing on Netflix. I watched What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, nice.
For a split second, I thought you were going to leave it at What We Do in the Shower. And I was like, I don't need to know, man. Like, do what you got to do.
I watched What We Do in the Shadows again, and it is still awesome.
Yes. I love that movie. Anytime anybody asks, they're like, oh, I need a movie to just watch. I'm like, you should just watch that. And they're like, Scott, you already recommended that. I'm like, yeah, well, watch it.
Just watch it.
Well, because what I think is great about it is that it's a light kind of comedy. It's not like... Because a lot of the other stuff that I would recommend is kind of like I mean, most people probably wouldn't even find it funny, but
dry humor. That's the best.
Exactly. There's lots of stuff that I find hilarious that other people are like, "You're just an idiot.
You're just strange."
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't understand.
What We Do in the Shadows, it's just it's general humor.
Yeah,
it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's quirky too. Like it's kind of got that like it's not super sophisticated like but it's also kind of smart at the same time, and it's kind of like it can be enjoyed by almost anybody really, because it's not based off of references and like callbacks and stuff.
Up their entire thing.
Yeah,
all internally.
Exactly, which I really love about it too. So they do have callbacks, but it's to themselves as opposed to trying to do like Family Guy referencing everything else in the world, right? Kind of comedy.
And they didn't try to push any of the storylines.
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
Yeah, I really liked. I'm a big fan of the mockumentaries, like mockumentary movies, especially because there's The Office, and I've talked about The Office before, but I like movie versions of it a little better because they're shorter. Yeah. It's a little bit more of a actual a full story in a sense, but at the same time, yeah, you're just getting a little slice of their life, and I like that. It's kind of interesting.
Like the mockumentary on Crave TV with Andy Samberg and Kit Harington playing tennis, which is phenomenal. 7 Days in Hell. That movie is so ridiculous, but so funny. Anyways, well, you should definitely watch it. Highly recommend it.
Thank you for reminding me it's on Crave.
You're welcome.
I know what's going to be on my list.
Because we all have Crave and don't use it nearly enough.
I know.
I use mine at least twice a week now, so...
That's going to be on my list for next week is 7 Days in Hell, and I'll
absolutely
finally finish some Letterkenny. But that's what I watched this week.
What did you watch, Scott?
Yeah, Scott, what did you watch
Well,
this week?
Besides watching all the Jurassic Parks, which I binged on Sunday, I watched a little bit of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what I was talking about, what I use my Crave TV for. I'm rewatching 2 episodes a week. But you can find out about that on our YouTube channel. Again, dropping that promotion. But I also watched...
Crossover episode.
Always. Yeah. So I also watched Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee and The Grand Tour. Those are my I only got a half hour to watch something. Those are my put-on shows in the background. I watched the newest episode of Legion, which the coolest thing about this is it's the second to last episode before the season finale. They actually added an extra episode into this season, so I think either... this or this next episode, it's curious to think where they added the episode in because it got added halfway through the season, but this last episode didn't get lined up right. But they finally dropped the name Legion in the show. Which
oh shit!
We
They
all
said
know,
the name of the show in the show.
We all know I love that.
They Superman for'd it.
They did it. They call him Legion, the World Killer. So they even like refer to as one of his names, I think, from the comics. I'm not 100% sure about that because I'm not a Legion expert. But I just like that little callback that they finally kind of inserted. Finally referred to him as Legion. Had the word Legion used because we all know I'm a sucker for that. And yes, that was awesome in Legion this week. I'm excited to check out the season finale. Probably tomorrow, since we'll be done this podcast too late to watch tonight. But I also just rewatched Thor Ragnarok and The Last Jedi while I was doing my puzzle this weekend. And that's all I watched this week.
Nice.
Yes. Nothing new. Yes.
Toit-nups.
Toy like a toiga.
Toit like a toiga. So I watched all the Oceans movies again because I love those movies. I love those movies, Greg.
No,
okay. Did you not listen to me last week?
I'm going to call this. I bet the DVD was still in at the shop when you got there on Tuesday.
Boom.
You didn't have anything else with you. You had to rewatch them on Tuesday.
Actually, today's Tuesday.
My bad.
I watched the Jurassic movies today.
I forgot.
But I watched them last week after we recorded because they were at the shop all week, and I love those frickin' movies. Okay.
I knew that
I will
was
watch
the
those
reason
movies every day if I can.
I know. I think we discussed that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can watch them all and then just restart them.
No,
so I watched those. I watched the Jurassic series. I watched The Princess Bride this past weekend. First time in like 10 years. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me how ridiculous it is. It's a good movie, but it is terrible at the same time.
Yeah.
It's so corny. My name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die. Like the best part of that is when Ted and Marshall, when they have their sword fight on top of the coffee table and stab Lily. Mm-hmm. So I watched that. I also watched Cats Don't Dance.
What is that?
Which I've told you guys about. That is the racially spurred animated movie where ethnic people are animal characters.
Oh, wow.
I've seen this movie.
Yes.
Shit.
It is. Yeah. It kind of.
Clearly
it's an older movie.
That when I watched it.
Not really. It's old. It's as old as us. It's from at least the 90s.
In it.
Yes.
Slightly
97.
older. Okay.
97, yeah. It takes place back in I want to say the 40s and the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Back when Clark Gable was big, anyways.
All right.
Back in Hollywood there we go. Back when there was racially charged tension throughout Hollywood, and the whole premise of it, yes. The whole premise of the movie is how animals are trying to get the right to star in their own movies and and be lead roles in movies. And as a kid watching it, I was like, "Yeah, give animals the right in movies." And then now as an adult, I'm like, "Ooh, this movie was more than animals.
This had a lot more to it than just damn.
This was racially charged. Yeah, it did, and you know what? It's a good message.
That's what I was gonna say.
Very,
maybe that
very
helped
well done.
Teach us properly. Maybe they help teach some Hollywood folk, but not.
It hits the issue dead on the nose without being in your face about it.
Well, that's good. I hate being preached.
But and at the end of it, they play a phenomenal song that's catchy as all shit, and they show all sorts of actual movie covers.
Yeah.
But they Photoshop or whatever the characters into it. They do a Batman one.
So wait, Deadpool stole it from this? Is that what you're telling me? Deadpool 2 stole the idea of pasting his ass on every movie cover from this movie? Is that the hot scoop we have this episode?
That's what we're saying. Hot scoop. Because they do Batman, and then there's a guy named Wooly, who is an elephant, and they've got a little chubby-ass penguin named Pudge, and they do Batman and Robin. They've got the masks on it.
Yeah.
They've got a hippo named Tilly. She's jumping over some rocks, a.k.a. Free Willy.
Yep.
Free Tilly, okay?
That makes sense.
They do that. They've got Twister. Those are the only ones I can remember off the top of my head. But they do all... I think there's Beetlejuice, actually. They do Beetlejuice as well. They do all these movies, but they incorporate their faces into it. And I was like, yeah, it was very cute. Great movie. If you want inspiration to be a better person, be good people, make good movies. I definitely recommend Cats Don't Dance, and it's got a great soundtrack. It's phenomenal.
Okay, cool.
So I watched that. I watched Grey's Anatomy. I'm almost done season 13, which means I'm caught up with everything that's out there, and I can move on to something better.
Something good.
Something bigger and better. I may go watch paint dry.
I feel that sounds more interesting, trust me. And I know I've watched all this goddamn seasons of that show. And after they killed Derek, I'm just like, fuck this.
Wait, they killed Derek? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't pretend on me. I know that
that was 2 seasons ago.
It was close. I was almost like, 13. If you'd said like 10, I would have been like, or 11, I wouldn't have gone there. But I know.
No, he's been dead for a while, and Meredith is not mourning anymore. She doesn't even care. She's always like, I have 3 kids. I don't sleep, and you never see the kids.
Yep.
Ever. Worst mom ever.
To be honest.
Worst mom ever. Who would believe in a man in the sky? My mommy would, so shut the fuck up. I watched Kid Gorgeous this past week as well. That was a joke for Craig. God can't help you.
The hospital was inefficient.
So you let a horse in the hospital?
I was over there on the bench.
Say more right now. And I also watched White Male Black Comic because I purchased the CD off Amazon and it came with the DVD.
Oh, excuse me. I have a question for you.
Excuse me.
Is
this your alligator? Oh, crocodile. That's what it was. Damn. Yes. Are you afraid he's gonna take your job? He doesn't even have pants. How many
people do you know with a job have pants
on?
Do you even need me for this conversation? I don't need you. I'm an independent woman. These shoes on my feet. I bought them. Unfortunately, I could do that entire bit.
Bro, just buy her a 7.
Just
get her a 7.
I would get a 14. Okay?
So funny.
I know you ain't gonna act like you ain't walked no dog on my lawn.
See, clearly Craig has listened to this many, many times.
Yes.
That is probably his most memorable special to me, I think.
See, I think his best one for me is Man on Fire, but that's just because I've listened to that a lot more recently, whereas White Male Black Comic was kind of like on the back burner.
Yeah. I can see that. Anyway.
So that concludes what I watched this week.
Oh, that concludes our episode.
Oh, look at that. That means we're at the end. Well, thanks everybody for listening this week if you made it all the way to this part.
Be good people, make good movies. Fuck Stan Podlak.
And do not forget, those of you who do have Windows PCs, to update your PC, because it probably needs it, because mine gave me the notification too right after we started.
Did it? Oh, man.
It did.
Small world.
Now I'm scared mine's going to tell me I need another one.
Probably.
So everybody update your computers.
Friggin' HP.
Do what the good Lord Microsoft tells you to.
God can't help you.
But Microsoft can.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to this week, guys. Bye.